There's a group of people that have really been feeling the pinch of this lockdown. Relaxed or not, they are still supposed to stay indoors and not go anywhere. But as they celebrate Children's Day, Art House remembers when things used to be normal and no one had to be this careful.
Has any of you at all, ever wondered where babies come from?
And our creatives are also celebrating the children by sending in some images of how they feel about this pandemic. We have that and more in a moment. A warm welcome to the show. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Now let's take this spoken word from a 16-year-old and we'll be right back.
Our spoken word today is titled The Aftermath by Felix Nwokolo. After the storm is over, after the virus has laid to rest, after our hopes are restored, what tales shall then be told? Tales on how hopes were almost lost, tales of war, pain and victory, tales of how we fought against a mighty but invisible threat, a bandit. Our great heroes, the frontliners, what would we have done without you? We kept our faith with you, and you proved yourself strong. Oh, brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, uncles and aunties, all that we shall one day have to tell are tales of victory.
This performance is done every year to encourage creativity in children. They managed to put something online despite the restrictions.
Ring a roses, a bucket full of posies. Ring a roses, a bucket full of posies. I teach you, they all fall down.
Hello, children! Hello, children! Happy
The annual musical show,
Children's Day.
Story Theatre with Grandma Wura, which has been held consistently for 5 years, is taking a different dimension this time around, no thanks to COVID-19. The thespians had rehearsed and prepped for D-Day, but now it will be showing to an online audience instead.
When I was a baby, my mommy said I was really pretty.
When I was a baby, my daddy said my head was really big.
They make you laugh, they make you cry. They look so beautiful asleep.
Oh my!
They make you laugh, they make you cry. They remind us of you and me.
That's right.
They remind us of you and me.
Oh yes.
They remind us of you and me.
Give yourselves a big round of applause. Ah, beautiful. Now, tell me, has any of you at all, ever wondered where babies come from?
Yes, I think they come from outer space.
Out of space?
Factory somewhere in the sky.
A chocolate factory somewhere in the sky?
I thought they just snuck up into mommy's belly and then when she's sleeping and boom!
Oh, they snuck up into mommy's belly at night when she's asleep and boom, they come out. Your questions bring me to the story that I shall be telling you tonight about the Yoruba people of the western part of Nigeria.
Storytelling, proverbs, folk songs which educate children about value-based leadership and various topical issues have always been their approach. This year, Adio the musical is a choice performance.
My dear little beings, the time has come for you to go to the earth.
Remember all that I have taught you about how you must live your life on earth. The gifts which you now bear in your hands that I have given you are for the world. Use it to make the world a peaceful and more better place to live in.
The musical focuses on the gifts and talents each child possesses that ultimately make the world a better place. Just like the main character, Adio, who is kind and sensitive to the needs of others, and his friend, Korede, with his sonorous voice.
This is Baba. For the past 2 months, he has been with us in this market square. No one sees him leave or arrive the market. He's always the first to get here and the last to leave. But that is if he ever leaves. Several times I have tried to inquire about this Baba, but no one knows anything about him. Some say he's a thief, some say he's a ghost. Some have even said he's one of the ancestors that have come to dwell amongst us. And they all call him Strange One. What do I think? Well, I think he's human and needs to be cared for. So I, Adio, I call him Baba. And every day, I try to make a difference in his life.
Dodo àti ráìsì kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọjá, wá jẹun 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 wá bòdò roboto. Dodo àti ráìsì kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọjá, wá jẹun 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 wá bòdò roboto. Iṣẹ́ ìyẹn ni wọ́n ní ṣe. Eré ṣáàlì tiwọn. Dodo àti ráìsì kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọjá, wá jẹun 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 wá bòdò roboto.
If you see Mama, please let her know. Mama, waiting for you, Mama. Mama, waiting for you, Mama.
Together, they embark on an adventure. Then the drama moves to another level, personification. With the right costume, makeup and mood lighting, the director is able to create this vision.
Frozen! Yeah, man. Frozen. You see, him frozen like banana ice cream.
Wait. I got it.
Only you can see us.
Only you can see us.
Now listen to me, Scooby. See, this road you are about to go down, so is epic, man. I do things. What happened to you? Cometa, Betty? Yes, man. First of all, you are going to be a rich man, Scooby.
The play harps a great deal on leadership, encouraging children to lead not only from the front, but from wherever, to make the world a better place.
Stories like that of Korede are no fiction. History presents us with stories about teenage and child kings everywhere. So you see, there is nothing that you cannot achieve, no matter how young you are. Oh, somebody, and raise your hands up. You are the generation that will use your gifts and your talents in making Nigeria a better place to live, in making the African continent an amazing place to live. Let me see your hands up in the air and say, Ashe.
That's what creators are doing now, using online media to showcase their works of art.
And the works of art sent in this week, artists are still exploring the issue of COVID-19 and the whole idea of having a relaxed lockdown. We begin with this one done by Adio. It's an oil-on-canvas work which he calls Fading Smile. He says the children are getting restless as they wonder when they will get back to school. Yes, I Won is Zubair Ismail's acrylic on newsprint on canvas work. Then this digital painting is Olagunju Jeremiah's work. He says there's light at the end of the tunnel. He says in the face of this pandemic, we, his children, look up to God. This work, called Heal the World, is done by Sadiq. He says that he believes that this too shall pass. Then Future Hope 3 is the bead on Perspect work done by Chiso Mukeke. Perezide Komboye has this pencil work, which is asking everyone to just smile. Catch Them Young is an oil on canvas piece done by Abiodun. He says every penny spent on the child's education is worth it. Although they can't be in the four walls of the classroom at the moment and are looking online to get educated, this pandemic will let us appreciate the little things that sometimes we take for granted, like education. Then Vigilance is an acrylic on textured canvas work. It's done by T. Dire Sam. He says, yes, freedom is good, but it can be caught short if we do not observe it well. So he says, let's be watchful and not take things for granted. During this pandemic, we should keep an eye on the children. And those are the works of art you sent in this week. We really appreciate you for sending them in, and we always encourage you to put the relevant information about that piece you are sending so we clearly understand the message you're trying to send across with that work of art.
Art House will show you more when we return. Do stay with us.